I'm Joe Stevens, and today I have a tribute to Chris Rock's reading of James Baldwin's letter to his nephew. But today I am going to be reading my letter to my buddy Andrew, who I based my letter off James Baldwin's letter to his nephew. It goes a little something like this. Dear Drew, I've heard life hasn't been in your favor for some time now. It has come to my understanding that you, my friend, weren't dealt with the best cards. You've come from hooting and hollering and punching and kicking. Your easiest days are considered some of my roughest. Yet when the world seems to be crumbling at your fingertips, you have that contagious grin. The little smirk, the one you get when the teacher's trying to say something serious and you and your friend are holding in the most gruesome laugh. Yeah, that one. I do not know how you do it. You walk through fire and come out with no burns. Between me and you, Drew, I want to be like you. I always have. I envy your charisma, the one that pulls in strangers like they're its gravity. I love how you make a room light up with the most pure form of laughter. Yet lately, I know that Drew has gone away. He must have gone up and went on vacation to Montana like we've always joked about, because I haven't seen him. The smile on your punchable face has faded. Your charisma is locked up like Fort Knox. You're nowhere to be found. I understand the change from high school to college is rough. Life is new. We're meeting new people, eating new foods, and sleeping in new beds that aren't comfortable. Even though the change is scary, that doesn't mean you should forget who you are. That's why I'm writing to you. Hopefully, I can help you remember who you are. You're the kid that taught me loyalty. You remember that first science class we had. Yup, the one with Mr. Moore. On the last day of science, I was getting thrown out. Maybe I was a little bit too rowdy, but getting thrown out was definitely not on my agenda. As the teacher was scolding me, what did you do? You said, if he goes, I go. And of course, as the lovable kid you are, everyone chimed in, one after another. If they go, I go. If he goes, I go. If she leaves, I'm leaving too. Soon you know, we were all chanting and the teacher shut up. It was your innocent loyalty there that taught me friends have other friends' backs. That's another reason why I took you in junior year. That's because you, yes, you, taught me to never look back on those who stand beside you. Still not remembering who you are yet, Drew? Well, what about May 5th of 2019? Yup, the day my grandma died. Very sad day in my book. However, that day I realized as I lost one of the most important people in my life, I gained a brother for life as well. It was fresh, like bakery bread. We just received the news that she died. Of course, I was heartbroken. I did not know how to grieve or show my emotions well enough. I remember my folks taking me to your house. I came unannounced in the middle of the night. I knocked on your door and you opened it up. I immediately threw my arms around you, crying like I was a little toddler who dropped her ice cream. Personally, I was a mess. But yeah, I felt the surreal comfort in your hands. You were this dumb 15-year-old who didn't know his ass from a hole in the ground. But still, you had this reassurance in you that made me feel warm. I was able to see that light at the tunnel. And I remember eventually calming down and we walked to 7-Eleven at 3 in the morning. We talked about the good times we had with her. And you cheered me up. That night I learned something about you, Drew. And something about myself. Taught me that it's okay to feel my emotions. Sometimes as young men, we like to forget that. But that night you reassured me that it's okay to not be okay. This was coming from a kid who had no parents and lived in a pigsty of an apartment. I also learned that night about you that your heart is full of love. You were not brought up with the best life, and it's hard to learn love whenever you turn was hate and despair. Yet you were an anomaly. You didn't search for love in the world, it grew from within you. You taught yourself how to pollinate the world with your love. And oh boy, do I envy that. If you still can't remember the person you are, you must have stopped reading. I bet you're on the phone scrolling throughout cat memes, huh? Either way, beyond the love and loyalty and friendship you taught, the thing I look back on most is the gratitude you taught me to embrace. Where do I start? On paper, I have the perfect life. I have two parents who are happily married, a house with running water, a dog, and even a girlfriend. Crazy how I could ever feel discomfort when I have all of that. If you told me that 4 years ago, I'd say, so what? It's the basic stuff. Yet you aren't even familiar with that life. You've come from a broken home. Literally, your toilet doesn't even work, the downstairs one. You've said it yourself, your folks don't give a shit about you. They only catch up with you when they need something or when they feel like it. You've you've also been billed your whole life with being overweight. Hell, that's the first thing people mention when they see you. Of course, me and you both know you're more than that, but you get the point. You've expressed how miserable your life is, living off paycheck to paycheck, and walking everywhere you go with no car. Of course, this lifestyle sounds awful. Yeah, I'm the one who complains. I am the person who isn't fulfilled by their life being extremely interesting. After years of knowing you, though, it took losses, deaths, and even breakups to know what great of a life I've had. Now I look at my life and smile. I smile because I wake up each day blessed. Blessed with a family, blessed with love, and blessed with a brother like you. If you can't find the blessings in your hard life, then I don't know. But I know you can. And I know you're able to find that gratitude as long as I can find that gratitude within my heart. Drew, even beyond this letter, beyond the late night conversations we've had in my kitchen at 3 a.m., I really can't come up with words to explain who you are and what you mean to me. Without you, I wouldn't be here today. You truly inspire me. Each day, I tell myself to get out of bed and tell the world today's my day. I know life could kick you in the ass sometimes, but the one thing you taught me is to get up. So, Drew, don't forget that you showed me the way. Remember that without you, people won't smile and laugh as much. Remember how loved and cherished you are and what you've done for our community. Without you, the real you, the sun doesn't shine as bright and the world isn't as colorful. I love you, man, and I'm excited for the future. Just know to love you is to know you. So thank you, Drew. James Baldwin letter is a letter of love and compassion that he tries to make his nephew aware of that he still has through this world of hate and racism. Even though me and Drew don't experience what James Baldwin and his nephew did, we know that life is tough and kicks us in the rear end. But it takes people like James and me to reassure great people like James's nephew and Andrew to realize how special we all are in the world. No matter how different we are apart, it's how much individually we are amazing that brings us together. And I think the biggest thing is with James's letter he really shows that no matter what the world thinks of you, you're something else. So I just want to say thank you, Dr. Scher, for allowing me to express these feelings more so on paper than ever, and that I'm able to think outside the box, really understand that life isn't this black and white. Life is much more than that, and it's much more than just feelings. And for Andrew, I meant this letter. I know it was for an assignment in English, but this was a letter from the heart, like James's. And I think we could all learn from this letter. Not just me and Drew, but the world, that there's always going to be someone that's going to be there for you. And when there's not, that's when you're there for yourself. And hopefully, Andrew realized what I tried to express to him. And hopefully, James's nephew realized what James was expressing to him. Thank you.